Hello everyone and welcome to the Alpine Valley's girl. Elena is here, and today I want to share with you some surprising things that I met when I moved to Switzerland. So if you're interested, continue to watch. The first thing that I would like to mention is prices. It's not a big secret that Switzerland is one of the most expensive countries in the world. And according to the report of CEOMAGAZINE, I will leave the link in the description so you can look more information about it. So according to the CEOMAGAZINE, in 2020, Switzerland is the most expensive country in the world. It's not a big problem for people that lives here because they get a local salary that is also quite high, but it's a big problem for people that are visiting Switzerland. They can get a really big cultural shock to the price of Switzerland. Everything is quite expensive here: the food, the restaurants, the hotel, the public transport, and you can't get any tap water in restaurants. And if you hope that you can get some cheap chunky food in McDonald's, I would disappoint you, because the price in McDonald's are also quite high here. Talking about McDonald's, I would like to mention the Big Mac index. This is the index that is published every year by Economist magazine since 1986. And the cost of the burger includes the cost of meat, bread, salad, worker salary and rents. So look into this index, you can understand the price level in the whole country. If you would be interested, I will leave the link to this magazine in the description. Another interesting thing about Switzerland is languages. Switzerland has 4 official languages, and forget about Swiss language, it's not existing. In Switzerland, official languages are German, Italian, French and Romanish. And not officially, a lot of people speak English. English is the language of tourism and business, because when you have a different language inside of the country, you need to find one language that people communicate between each other. So if you are visiting Switzerland, if you speak English, it wouldn't be a big problem for you. If you are living here, if you plan to live here, you need to speak one of their national language, and it depends from the area where you plan to live. And if in the future you would like to move, for example, from Zurich to Geneva, you would need to learn another language, and it is still one country. Another surprising things for me that I really didn't like, but it's only my personal view, and I don't want to say anything bad to people that support these things. This is smoking in a public place. In Ukraine, it's a long time not allowed to smoke in a public place, so I really forget how it is to breathe the smoke. But here, when I was waiting for my bus, it was raining outside and we were standing just inside the bus stop. The person next to me just started to smoke. I'm not against the smoking people, they can do whatever they want, but I don't like to breathe the smoke. This is just my personal point of view. Before I will get to another point, I would like to say that I really adore and am a big fan of local drivers. I don't know how they do this, how they drive with 80 kilometers per hour on these tiny, super windy roads. But this is something that you need to learn if you want to live in Switzerland, if you plan to drive here and if you plan to travel through Switzerland. I would like also to mention, if you are traveling in Switzerland by car, you should be careful with speed limits and speed traps. And the speed traps are very popular here, you can find them everywhere, and the speed limits are changing from area to area, and you should be very careful when you're driving, otherwise you can get a big fine. The last thing that I would like to mention for people that travel into Switzerland is a medicine. I wouldn't surprise you that medicine in Switzerland are also very expensive, and it's not for free here. So when you're traveling to Switzerland, be sure that you have a traveling insurance, and also be sure that your insurance will cover the cost of medicine in Switzerland, because the prices here are super high. And if you don't have your insurance, be ready to pay a really huge bill from your personal bank account. This was my list of surprising things in Switzerland. If you have something to add, it would be interesting for me to read, so you can comment this video. And if you like this video, subscribe to my channel to get more information about life in Switzerland and tips about traveling here. And I will also share with you the best places to visit in Switzerland. So see you next time.